What's up? What's up?
See, I'm the biggest, the largest. Oh, my
Oh,
bad.
okay. You're
My
excited.
bad, my bad, my bad, my
Okay.
bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad.
Come on in the room, you guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. Sonia's excited today. You excited?
Yes, I am excited.
You had a restful Tuesday so far?
Now, I'm gonna tell you why I'm excited, y'all. Y'all know we family, and I come on here every Tuesday, and for the most part, I say the same thing every Tuesday. When is she gonna feed me? I
Oh.
actually before the training today, y'all. Like I actually got some food and some energy today,
Okay,
y'all.
calm down, calm down. Welcome you guys to REI Decoded Training. This group is to help people just like you get off the sideline and get into the game. We are your trainers. I am Ashley Denmark.
I'm Antonio Denmark.
And we are here. We know where you've been. We know your scars. We know where you're trying to get to. And we have made it our mission, our goal to get you to your goals when it comes to real estate investing.
And expose you to as much knowledge as possible.
Yes.
One of the things that we truly believe in is education. We truly believe in growing. And just because we do something one way doesn't mean that's the only way to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so many ways to make money when it comes to real estate. And we want to make sure that we bring you that knowledge so that you're getting off the sideline. We want to make sure we're giving you that knowledge so that you reduce your fear. And we want to make sure we're giving you that knowledge so that you can take action. All right. And not just be a master at communicating real estate, but be a master at doing it. All right. So I'm super excited. I see y'all in the building. What's up, Lamar? What's up, Amelia? Hey, Tamika. Hey, Raquel. Hey, Sharita. I see y'all. I see y'all. I want y'all to do me a favor before we get started. I want you guys to share this and invite people to the group that you think would absolutely love to learn about building new construction and flipping it. All right. I need you to add them to the group. What's up, Miss Brenda? And get them so that they can see this training. I want to make sure we open it up for everybody that is interested in it so that we're helping more people. All right. Don't just save the gems for yourself, release them to others because that's how your blessings come. All right. So go ahead and add them to the group. In the meantime, if you are watching this live, I need you to do what you always do. I need you to put live in the chat. Let me know that you are watching it live. And if you are watching this on replay, make sure you put replay in the chat. All right.
That's been really helping our team when we go back and we calculate numbers. So that live and replay is really big to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You ready, Tonya? Anything else you want to add before?
I feel like we already started. We started yet?
Anything you want to add is what I said. Add. That means in conjunction to what I just said.
All right. So what's the next step? If I say no, then what's the next step? Don't do that.
Yeah, he's not putting on he for real. I see y'all. I see y'all. Hey, Tyrone. Hey, Tyrone. Yes, they can hear you.
Oh.
They can hear you. Did you want to add anything before we introduce Ramon? Or did you want to introduce Ramon? Go. Just go.
You got it. You got it. Go.
Listen. Come on in the room. I see you guys. I see y'all. I see y'all. What's up, Tamika? All right. We met Ramon in 2018. Ramon was doing a world tour, and I know you're trying to figure out how do I know it was 2018? Because y'all know everything in my life comes with a pregnancy cycle. All right. So in 2018, I was pregnant with Ashlyn, and I was big and pregnant. That's how I knew it was 2018 because I had her in the fall, which means Ramon was probably here around July, August in Birmingham. He was doing a tour, a city tour, and that was when we met him. Like his team reached out to us, Ramon reached out to us, and we were like, we don't know this guy, but if his team is working like this, we need to be in the room because that's some massive work. So we end up going, we were speaking on the panel, and it was our first time meeting Ramon, and I feel like we've been joined to the hip since then. He has taken us under his wings. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but I'm grateful for it. I
Amen.
am super grateful for it. I can talk to you guys forever about Ramon, but I want you to hear his greatness. I want you to get to know him. Because what he does is so amazing. The people who he has helped in this industry makes him so amazing. What were you about to say? Okay. And you're not gonna leave here today without having one or two nuggets, maybe 5 nuggets that you can use and literally start to implement. All right. So without further ado, I am gonna welcome
Listen, thank y'all for having me. Y'all know it's an honor. It's definitely an honor to be here, and I love watching y'all. You say you want to know why? Because y'all are two of the most genuine people that I've ever met. So we stuck together.
We locked in. We locked in.
That's right. You shot. You shot.
We know Tonio not shy. You just been treating him so bad all week with this skee ball
I
thing.
said him, so he should be good.
Yes.
Middle of the day.
So one of the reasons this training came about is because Ramon does a lot of great things. Mm-hmm. And there's one thing when you have a conversation, he tells you, "Hey man, I'm building houses and I'm doing stuff." He's like, "Man, that's cool, man. Tell me more about it." There's a total different thing to see a video of him walking through $1 million house that he built. Be like, damn. So when I seen it, I said, "My people got to see this too." So that's kind of why we're here. Yeah. I want him to give y'all some of his knowledge. He's a giver. He's a go-giver. So make sure you ask your questions.
Yes.
Don't be holding back, y'all. Time is valuable. So make sure you get all your questions asked. He ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. He ain't gonna tell you nothing to hurt you, and he ain't gonna lie to you neither. So take it. He an OG in the game, man. He done. I can't even put a number on the deals he's done between wholesale flips and building and partnering, all that good stuff. Apartments, yeah. All that good stuff. So he don't like social media for real, y'all. He's just kind of turning around. He's just trying to get into it and kind of. But that's why you probably never heard of him, because he's not that type of thing.
Well, no, I see some people on here. They definitely heard of him. I got Jaquiz. I got Tyrone. Yeah, I got some people on here.
All right. Well, Ramon, the floor is yours, my brother.
Appreciate it.
How he bring his screen up?
We already worked that up.
Do your thing
then. Again, thank y'all for having me. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It's always great to see folks growing. We're all growing. We go through growing pains. I love to see Ashley and Antonio and their family, the kids. Y'all, we get the joke, but I've seen them grow tremendously over the past 7 years, and it's an honor to be on their platform. So today, I know we're going to talk about new construction. I may throw in a few other things. But when I was sitting down thinking about the title, I was like, we turning dirt into dollars.
That's like, bam.
We turning dirt into dollars. And it's not that complicated. Y'all will hear my opinion on it as we keep going, as we jump in. But one of the things I like about turning dirt into dollars is you get to create what you want. And so we'll get into that. Let's see. Ash, I don't see mine. Oh, there you go. I got it.
Okay.
All right, before you go too far, right? So
okay.
I'm reading the title, and to me, as a single family remodeler, go back. So I read it, and maybe I'm tripping, but I want you to explain it. And if it's in the presentation, just tell me. You said developers and builders. Are they different people? Are they not the same person?
They can be two different people. And we'll get into that. But
okay.
Well, let me say this though. The builder, I want people to think about big buildings, right? When you go downtown at a city, you'll see a builder's name and then you'll see a developer's name. They're normally on big projects, they're not the same person, right? Because the developer is the one that takes the vision and gets it approved. The builder is the person, that general contractor, that actually builds it up. Now, with us being smaller developers, because we're all developers, whether you're a redeveloper, I know people say, hey, man, I'm a fix and flipper, but you're really a developer. I'm a buy and hold person. You're really a developer. So I know as people start to get more money, bigger titles, they start saying developer more, but it could be one and the same. It could be two separate pieces of it, right? Because I'm a developer and a builder, right? But I will, if I had to pick a title, it's going to be developer, because we develop neighborhoods, we develop communities, we develop people. So we're developers. And a lot of us in our mind think we're too small to be saying developers, but that's what we all are.
All right,
Come on, coach.
roll with it.
Let's go. Let's roll. Let's go. Let's go. All right, y'all. Listen, they did a good intro of me. I will say this. I've been in the industry this is my 31st year, and I love it. The only thing that I love more than real estate are those 5 kids, and God come first. The kids, between them and real estate depends on the day. But I started at 19, and I've dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of everything. So I'm a generalist. People always say, you got to specialize in something. And it's still challenging for me to say, I wouldn't buy a shopping center, or I wouldn't, whatever's great. I think whatever the numbers work, I think that's where we invest. But in that being said, if I had to pick a fastball, it's probably going to be multifamily. I started with multifamily. I love multifamily. I was just telling Ashley and Yaz that I'm on the hunt for more multifamily because that's just something. It's something about it. I love it. I like having multiple doors. I don't like the tenants, but I got to like the tenants because, they're the one that drive the business. So, again, I've been at it 31 years. We've built some amazing relationships. We've had some rough days. I can tell you about those, but we've had some great days, and our great days outweigh those rough days, which is why we're still here. Uh-oh, it's small. I don't know why it's so small. All right, y'all. I don't think y'all can see that, but I'm going to talk through it. Is it small on your end?
It is. Let me see if I can make it bigger.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to keep talking. Hopefully we can figure that out. I'm not sure why it's small. That means all of them probably going to be small. But a lot of times I hear people wanting to do something because why, right? Why do you have an interest in new construction? And for me, it's not because everybody's doing it, right? A lot of times people get started because somebody they seen that was popular, or somebody on social media, or somebody they met that they feel like, well, I want to do it because they're doing it, because they said they made $100,000 a deal, but they didn't tell you about all those other deals they did make $100,000. So, once we get past why we're doing it, I always say, for us, like right now, looking at lots in Atlanta, affordable housing is a good reason to want to develop, right? And build new homes. Here in Atlanta, we have an inventory problem. We have a problem with homes under, I'm going to say 300K that are quality homes. So you can feel that void. You can go and start looking for lots. And we're going to talk about what you look for in lots. You can go and feel that void and know the reason that I'm doing it. One is for sure to make money, right? Which I have on there. It's all of us should be here to make money. But 2 is I'm able to service a specific niche that will feel what the community needs. And a lot of times when when you're solving a problem or you're the solution to a problem, you get paid. By the way, we're helping the community. Other reasons, and I wish I can blow it up. Can they see it, Ash? You know what I'm gonna do?
It's small on their end.
It's small.
It's small on everybody end. I'm not sure what I did. All right. Can y'all? So they don't see my screen, do they?
No, we just see the blue screen right now. Let's create inventory.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk through it, and then I will change the screen. And I apologize for that, y'all.
All right.
So the first thing, like I was saying, is you're creating inventory. So in a time where folks are saying, "Hey, man, there's no inventory, it's low inventory," you create your own inventory. You create what you want to build. Now, I'm not saying go out and build Taj Mahal in a neighborhood where the comps are 50,000. What I'm saying is you get in neighborhoods where you know what the comps are already and you just build what they have. Things that we're going to talk about is when to not build and when to build. We're going to talk about that in a second. Another thing is I like new construction because it's a cleaner project. Y'all know we have renovated properties and you got a budget and you open up a wall and something's behind that wall that is not clean. The rooms are too small, or we buy a house and you got to walk through a room to get to a room. Or so I got cleaners in cleaner in quotation because not just like cleaner in sanitary cleaner, but it's a cleaner job for us. We know what we're going to have at the end of the day. We know the square footage. We know, we should know like all the windows, the doors, the whole nine. So we'll get into that later when I start talking about the designs and so forth. And then if you're building to rent, because some people build to rent, and if you're building to sell, great. If you're building to rent, cool. But if you're building to rent, your maintenance costs for the first 5 to 7 years should be much lower, or should be lower if you're building with quality work. All right. And y'all can ask, I think they can post questions different places. So if I'm going too fast or anything, y'all let me know.
Okay.
Okay, it's a little bit better on this one. You can see that a little bit better?
See it, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I get asked this, who should build new? Right? I'm going to say all of us, if the numbers make sense, it makes sense.
I like that.
It makes sense both ways. It's got to make money, but it's got to make sense. I don't care about location. I throw the old adage location out the window. It's not first. It's not even important. Because if you can tell me I can buy Igloo in Alaska and sell it, I can buy it for $10 and sell it for $20, we probably want to buy that Igloo in Alaska, or I buy a mansion in Buckhead of Atlanta for $1 million and we can sell it for 1.2. I'm not buying that because I can't make any money.
Okay.
So for me, it's all about the numbers. So anybody that can figure out to make the numbers work, then that's who should be building new. All right, this is a little bit smaller, but I'm going to say the same thing about what should you build. Just because you are a new builder, you're building new, doesn't mean you have to start off with a little single family house. I'm not saying it's little in terms of money, but I'm saying if in your mind you want to start off building self-storage, start off building self-storage. If you want to start building multifamily, build multifamily. Like, don't start somewhere because somebody says you have to start there. It's like the argument I have with folks about wholesaling versus fix and flipping versus buy and hold. I say start where you want to start. If you want faster money, and I won't even say faster because the way Antonio Ashley teaches, that's the best way to make money. Like, I don't know if I want to do anything as if I can do that here, right? So when you're talking about what do you build, what should you build? You build what you plan for building. Build with your team. The team that you build and your finances will allow you to build.
To that finance one. So we talk to a lot of people all the time, and some of them have dreams of building, and they want to build those houses, or they want to build those townhouses or duplexes type things, but they money say single family. What would you tell that person? Would you tell that person just hold off until you get your money right to where it says commercial or multifamily, or would you tell them, hey, do something to get going? So what would your advice be to that person? They money say they can fix and flip or buy and hold, but they want to build.
So I'm gonna get into the money team, but I like to know more. That's so generic. I like to know more about their situation, because sometimes people say my money say this, but then what about your other resources? What about if I found a townhouse lot in whatever the best neighborhood in Birmingham is, and I don't have, but I got enough to put it under contract? Can I call Antonio and Ashley and say, listen, y'all, we got this great deal. We can make X, Y, Z. I've done my research. Can we then still build the property? Right. A lot of times we want to be the name on the marquee, the headlights. We want our name on the sign instead of our name being on the check. I just want my name on the check.
I know that's right.
That's it. I just want my name on the check. So, all right, y'all. So I'm gonna talk about exit strategies when you start to think about building new. And this can go across the board. So it's not just, again, not just single family, it can be multifamily, it can be commercial. Know why you're building or what you're building. So one, you can build your house to house hack. So a lot of people forget about this when they first get started, because if you build let's say you build a single family with 4 bedrooms. Now, personally, I wouldn't want other people in my house, but there's some people that's okay with renting out rooms. I can live for free. Or if I built up to 4 units to live in. If I lived in 1 unit, I got a clean new product. It's mine. I built that and then in 2 years or 3 years, I sell it and move up to something bigger. So that can be one of your strategies. It's easier to get in, less down payment, and you don't have to make as much money because you're doing that. With a game plan that I'm gonna do more. Building to sell, you better be all right? You got less room for error when you're building to sell. Things that we can't control, you have to kind of build them in. You got to have that contingency, but you got to kind of have a double contingency because we are looking to sell. And I'm gonna get into things that we got to watch out for. And then building to rent, like I'm just building this house to rent it out. You still got to make sure you are clearing some money every single month. If not, I may as well buy something that's already built and rent it out. See, don't just because it sounds cute to build, but you're not making money. I don't want to do that either. I'd rather go somewhere and buy something that I know is going to cash flow. If that's my exit strategy and it's going to cash flow, if I'm building this property and it's not going to cash flow, I don't want it. I'm not looking to impress anybody because I built something new. That's not it.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to give y'all this. And if y'all want to screenshot, I'm going to give y'all this quick 7-step process. What works almost for anything, right?
So look, if you guys can't see it, type it in the chat, and I'll make sure we give you guys the 7-step process. Put 7 steps in the chat.
I'll just give the whole presentation.
Okay. Put 7 steps, and I give you the whole presentation. Bam.
I like that. All right. So the first thing is, and I'm going to run through these 7, but then we're going to talk a little bit more about the 7 as we go through the presentation. So the first thing is you really need to identify a market. You need to know where you're going to start building or where you want to build, right? And the reason why I say this is if you're all over the place, maybe I want to build in Miami, maybe I want to build in LA, maybe I want to build in Birmingham, you're never going to learn the market. You're never going to learn when somebody call you with a great deal, you're not going to say, man, I really know I know the numbers in that neighborhood. It's a potentially good lot. If you're all over the place, it's really hard to understand. Most people, it's really hard to understand what's a good lot, what's a good neighborhood. Should I be building? Should I be buying and holding? Should I be renovating? So identify your market. Start working on your financing right now. Like I mean today. I don't mean like when you find something, because when you find something, it's probably too late if it's a really, really great deal. Unless you just got like the great referral, it's the lady from the church that love your grandmother, so you're the only one. That's really not happening right now. That's tough because everybody, even the older lady at the church, they're more educated now, and they don't care who's you. They want to make money because they seen the house up the street just sell for $300. Matter of fact, most of them think their property is worth more than what it's worth because they just saw that. They don't understand what goes into it. So start securing your financing so you can move fast. I know you guys have access to all the funding you need. You got Ashley and Antonio. So, but you need to not sit back and say you're waiting on something. You need to understand what you can, what you can qualify for now. If you can't qualify for now, maybe it's 6 months, 12 months down the road. So it gives you some kind of like guideline to what you should be doing. Third thing is you got to start looking for the land. You got to really understand. That's why I'm saying understand your market, know your market. Because when you start looking for land, what are you looking for? Is it 100 acres? Is it, one lot in the city? So, but you got to start looking for it as soon as you get that approval letter, even before, right? Then once you have found the land, once you start making offers on land, you got to really understand about the design and the permitting phase. If you're building new, These are things that can take longer in some places than others. There's a city here in Atlanta that takes probably double the time that it takes in other cities. Well, if I'm not saying I wouldn't build there, but it's got to be like a great deal. It can't be a mediocre deal. Mediocre deal in the city of Atlanta, I'll take it sometimes because I know we're going to sell it. But in some of these other cities, no, it's got to be a great deal. Because now, if I had to acquire the land, it's costing me something while I'm sitting waiting.
Right.
All right. Once you do design and permitting, and I know I'm going through these 7 and I'm making it sound simple, but we're going to dig into it a little bit deeper. Then you build. It's simple. You build. Once you finish building, you go through the process, which we'll talk about. You then use your exit strategy. Are you going to market it for lease or market it for sale? This is where building your team is really important, because when you have the right real estate agent or property manager, depending on what's your exit strategy, they should have already told you what you should be building based on the area and that lot size, what you're going to get for rent or what you can get for sale. Don't play around with guessing. I tell people, don't speculate too hard. It's something already near you that you should be using for a comp, just like when you're doing fixing and flipping. And it's the same thing when you're buying holding. Use Section 8 rents. Don't use Airbnb rents. Don't use those. Don't say I'm gonna build a 4-bedroom and I'm gonna put Airbnb. That's cool. But what about when the local municipality changes the rule? So I tell people only buy rental properties based on like Section 8 veteran income. And then if you can do some kind of short-term rental, creative financing, then it's a bonus. But if you build something, you build something and it's $350,000, but it's a 4-bedroom and you can only get $2,500 from Section 8. You're thinking about, short-term rental where you can get $5,000 a month or $6,000 a month or whatever that number is. What about if it doesn't rent out? What happens? Then you're in trouble. So again, know your exit strategy. You got to know that exit strategy. Then once you get to that point where you got it marketed, then I say sell it, lease it, and then repeat it. It's really that simple, y'all. A lot of us try to overcomplicate it. I'm gonna get into some more details about a couple of these steps, but don't overcomplicate it. It's the same thing, y'all. If somebody else is doing it, including some of these bigger hedge funds, you can do it too, because you're just not doing it. You're not buying 50 a month. You're doing one every 6 to 12 months.
Right. All right. Drop your questions in the chat, you guys, as they come. Drop your questions in the chat. I see your 7 steps. I see y'all. Okay.
All right. So securing financing. I think this is where a lot of us probably get a little bit more hesitant about doing it. But it's 3 ways, right? Start talking to your lenders, because even if you're not ready, at least they can tell you this is what you need so you can go and get ready, right? If somebody says, well, your credit score got to be X and it's not there, if you truly want to build, then you may have to take on a second job. You may have to wholesale a little bit more so that you get your credit there and your down payment. Now, if you don't have either or, but you can find a great deal, listen, I'm going to treat it like wholesaling, right? You got partners, people that really want to do this, but they can't find deals. You may say, listen, I want to be on that project. I'm bringing this great deal. And what else can I do? Can I manage the project? What can I do? So you're always looking for partners. You're always telling people about what you do. The biggest builders in the world have partners and investors. Like for some reason, a lot of us, and I'm saying us because I'm talking about my people that look like me, we want to own everything by ourselves. But when you start looking at the biggest hedge funds, the biggest builders, the biggest developers, y'all, they got help.
Right.
They got people that specialize in things. They got people that bring money to the table. So don't feel some kind of way because you don't have it. Because guess what? All of us are here because we want to make money. All of us are here because we're looking for that freedom. I'm sure we're looking for a better lifestyle than whatever you're currently doing.
Hold on, Mo. So if you are part of our ex-Clipper community or you watch Antonio and Ashley talk a lot, what Ramon just said, we got a phrase for. So I want to hear somebody, I want to see somebody in the chat write down how do the Denmark phrase what Ramon just said. All right, let's keep paying attention. All right, keep going, Ramon.
Okay. So with the financing piece, you need to, when you know your plan, it's easy to talk to people about it. So if you're saying I'm going to be a single family, then there's a lot of people that want to be a part of somebody building a single family. So I don't want y'all. I want y'all to know today, like, just think about this. Stop thinking about like lack what you don't have, and focus on what you have, and just get really good at it. If you got money but you don't understand how to build, cool. That's a super strength. If you got time and you can learn how to project, you can like go on YouTube and learn how to be a great project manager. Everybody needs a great project manager. Like, it's like one of the things that people want to leave out. And I don't mean for your general contractor to do it. I mean somebody to oversee your general contractor and your whole team. Because you can find a great deal, but if it goes bad in the middle, right? And I've been there. If it gets delayed in the middle, if nobody's pushing in the middle, it's no longer a good deal when you get to the exit strategy.
Right.
People say you make money on the buy. I say that's kind of true. You really make money through the process. You make money through the construction phase, because the construction phase will make or break you. It will have you crying or smiling. It's just what it is. And I've done both. I've cried a lot. I've smiled a lot. So, but when you're thinking about financing, y'all, don't, because you don't have something, don't cut yourself out. Like, figure out how to get it. Figure out who to talk to. Who you partner with. Some lenders, there's some lenders out here, right? And I know Antonio actually have access to them, that they don't require, if you find a good enough deal, they're not going to require you to bring a lot of money to the table, or maybe not make payments. So it's things that can happen through the process, but you got to let everybody know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. That's key.
All right. So look, I'm going to give y'all this one, the building a quick team, right? This team is truly important. I just talked about the money partners. Your contractor could be the project manager, but I don't ever trust contractors, so I always want to oversee it.
What? You don't trust contractors, Ramon?
No, I don't trust. I don't trust none of them. No.
Oh,
no.
Keisha got it.
Yeah, I don't trust them. So if you're going to be the project manager, cool. If you're buying to sell, you should have your real estate agents assist in managing the project. I'm not saying being the full project manager, but that is a cheat code to having a project manager. And what I mean by that is they can go by, they can take pictures, they can check on progress. Let's say you're working a 9 to 5, or if you live in another state or whatever it might be, your real estate agent should be your eyes and ears on your project. You can be your own eyes and ears, but that's a whole nother set. All right. You got your designers and your architect, whether they be just for the project and the interior. Your real estate agent is like critical. Your project manager / real estate agent, to me, is, I mean, they're two of the most important people. I mean, they're all important, but your real estate agent, when they understand the market and what you're doing, it's probably going to be one of the most important pieces you can have. And I say that to people all the time, is you should be interviewing your agents, not just picking an agent because they're your cousin or your aunt or they're popular. You got to really pick somebody that understands the market and understands the community that you're going to be building in, and understand the process, because it is a different process. It's more steps in it. And I say it's a different process because of what you have to go through to get the permitting. The agent should be heavily involved.
Because I did a training on our coaching call last week, and it was about interviewing your agents, like not just picking one, because you need to make sure that when you sell it, you got a seller agent, not a buyer agent. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, that property's not going to move.
Yeah. Last thing, surveyor, right? When I tell people this all the time, I don't care what was sitting on the lot. I don't care what you've seen. If you're buying a blank canvas, you better get a survey, because you need to know the true boundaries. When you get a detailed survey, you're going to know where the trees are. When you start buying more land, it's going to tell you how the land drops off. So you take that survey and take it to your builders and your architects, because it's truly the blueprint. It based on the rules and the zonings. That survey is going to tell you where that house goes. You can't just sit the house wherever you want to sit it at. You can't just build the biggest house in the world or the smallest house in the world. the survey is going to tell you about the setback requirements and the yard requirements and how many can fit on a lot. So it's going to tell you, it should tell you the zoning, right? It should give you a lot of the details, even though the county or the city may say something. I still tell people it's just like getting an inspection on a house that you're buying. I wouldn't tell you to buy a house without getting an inspection. I wouldn't tell you to buy a piece of land without getting a survey. It just doesn't make, I don't care. And if somebody said, oh, we got the survey, if it's older than 2 years, I want my own survey. If it's a year to 2 years old, you're probably going to be fine. But if it's over 2 years, I want no parts of it. I want my own.
Why?
I mean, not that boundaries change. They shouldn't change. But we've seen things where easements are, let's just say like a utility easement is from Alabama Power. See, within a year or two, they could have put one on the ground across your yard. It's critical to know because you're probably not going to be able to build on that. Or they got rights to come in and tear up when they want to tear up if they need, because they are important. So it's little things. Somebody from the past may have given a driveway easement or a what do you call it? Oh, golly, like the driveway, alley easement, or anything could be there. So you want to make sure you're covered. So sometimes things happen in a 1 or 2 year period. I like to know. It's like going to the doctor. Like you can say, man, I felt good all year for the past year. But think about if you don't go every year. So I just, for me, I've seen too many things happen with people not wanting to spend that $300, $400, $500 on regular lots. Now, when you get the acreage, just a little bit more, but I'd rather spend it. All right. Y'all got me? Y'all good?
Yeah.
So for the answer, Ramon, when you was talking about partnering and those type of things, what we like to call that is time, talent, treasure.
Time, 3T.
The 3 T's,
yeah.
Time, talent, treasure. And whatever you have, go find somebody who got the opposite. So if you
Time, talent, treasure. I like that.
So you were saying it like without saying time, talent, treasure, you was literally saying everything. And when people who have money usually don't have time to find these type of deals. So they got the treasure. You need to find the talent to either manage it or find the deal.
I got to write that down. Time, talent. Got it.
Good job, Keisha. I got to get you something special because you got
All right, I'm gonna keep rolling. And if they have questions, y'all can throw them out there at me while I'm going through the slides. Finding the deals. Finding the deals. I told y'all earlier, my biggest thing is about numbers, right? Because if I can build, it's got to make sense, right? So crunch the numbers like you do anything else. If it's gonna be built to sell, it's just your real estate agent and you need to know, okay, somebody built one, within a tenth or a quarter of a mile that sold for this. When you're starting the process and you're the first one building new, I'm going to use the comps of the new construction. Of the renovations. Those are going to be in my mind, those are going to be because you don't have 3 comps of new construction. If you're the first one building that neighborhood, know that you're going to have the best product, but you're competing with those renovations. Mm-hmm. They're not going outside of that mile, half
mile. Back up. You got to say that again. I missed it.
When you're the first one building in the neighborhood, you're going to suffer a little bit.
Okay.
And use the renovation comps as your comps in your mind. So, for example, let's say 1,500 square foot houses are selling for $300,000, right? If you're building new and 1,500 square feet is going to cost you $180,000 to build, you paying $40,000, $50,000 for the lot. You just know maybe I can sell for a little bit more than that renovation because it's new.
Gotcha.
But you also got to know that you're going to be hurt because that appraisal doesn't have a lot to compare it to. So he's gonna adjust your numbers based on it being new. So that's what I was saying earlier. If I go into a neighborhood, I remember they used to be complaining about the McMansions in Atlanta where they were building these huge structures next to like smaller, older homes. Well, they didn't have comps. A lot of those people had cash. Then once they got 2 or 3 of them, they played the game like the subdivision, because the first house in the subdivision don't have no value. They don't have it. So, you really have to understand. And when I say know your numbers, it's like anything else. When you're crunching numbers, you're using comps. When you're building, so let me say this: when you're building single family, when you're building commercial, then it's based on the income, on the projected income. So you got to understand what kind of cap rates you're looking for, what kind of income the bank is looking for. So again, they're empty. So you have zero income at first, so it's projected income. So you got to look at 2 things. If you're building single family, you're building based on comps. Your comps are based on what is sold. If you're building commercial, multifamily, it's based on projected income. Critical, y'all. Critical. Zoning. You got to know your zoning. You might not like your zoning. So if you don't like your zoning, you can change your zoning, maybe. People that make fortunes as developers, and just take the builders out, they are great at finding a piece of land that's zoned residential and changing that zoning to something that's commercial, multifamily, and it may take a long time. Communities fight it, the whole 9, right? But when you can take a piece of land that has a single family house on it and rezone it so that you can put townhouses on it, it's the same piece of land. You just spent your money on surveys, engineering plans, and the zoning application. I'm not saying it always works. Sometimes you fight it. Sometimes I love the zoning that's already there because it's easy. I take the zoning that's there, we build on it. I know what we were building, cool, right? But this is the game that a lot of people play when you start talking about land. So that zoning means the world. If the zoning doesn't fit what you had in your mind, either you got to change it or move on. If you say, man, I'm only building multifamily and it's a single family zoning and it's all single families throughout the neighborhood, you don't see any multifamilies, you're probably not going to get that change to multifamily. If you say I want to build an office park and it's all townhouses, duplexes, you may not get that. So you'll know the likelihood based on talking to the people down at the county and the city and the neighborhood community, because they could make or break your deal. So always before you buy something, understand the zoning and know the zoning.
That's a nugget right there.
Know where your utilities are. A lot of times y'all will see people say sewer, water, and electric is on the property or near the property, because the cost that it takes to bring it on the property or near a property can be very, very expensive, and it could change how you look at your deal. If you don't have sewer, a lot of places have septic, like I'll say in more rural areas, they have septic tanks. With septic tanks, your lot has to be a certain size. So I know here, a lot of lots have to be at least an acre that you can have a septic tank. I've only dealt with maybe 2 or 3 septic tanks in my career. Most of the stuff I've done has been, in town, closer to the city. So it's always been public water, public sewer, public, utilities, the whole 9. If you don't have that, you got to really understand what it costs to do that. So the first thing I want to do is learn where the utilities are. Does this thing feed into the public sewer? Does it have a well? Does it have a septic tank? Those are things that will make or break your deal. At least you know.
How much that type of stuff costs? Just ballpark. I'm talking 10,000 or 100,000.
It depends. Right? When I say it depends, with subdivisions, remember, with single family lots, y'all, with the ones that most of us are looking at, are going to already have everything. Right? When you start going out into rural areas, you're probably not going to just build a single family house on 50 acres.
Right.
So then you start looking at that 50 acres. Am I going to develop that? So then that's when the engineers play a very important role. This is where you spend a lot of money before you close. This is where you ask for longer due diligence periods, because you want to know before you buy that land, the chances of you being successful at what you want to do are you have a high chance. So the biggest thing with like subdivisions will be running sewer lines. Even if it's at the property, you still got to run it through the community. You still got to cut your streets. You still got to get that power line back there. But if it's not even at the property, then that means you got to get approval from the county to bring it over, unless you're going to do some kind of like private. And most people are not doing that. It's too expensive. I wouldn't suggest anybody start off with having to bring in their own utilities. You need to have it there already.
Nugget right there. Make sure you got all your utilities on your land before you start building.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I never even considered.
That's why that's what he did. That's why I'm taking my notes.
Due diligence checklist. Y'all, some of the things that we're talking about, your survey, your architectural plans, have you spoken with the community? Have you spoken with the neighbors? Have you spoken with, your bank? You need a checklist, and it's going to be different for everybody because it's going to be different based upon, and Ashley and Antonio, we can put something together that's more generic, right? Because like I said, I want to have that survey. On my checklist, I want to know what's the zoning, what does that zoning mean? And then maybe there's another line say, do I want to change the zoning? Right? I want to know on that checklist, which lenders have I spoken to? Who are my partners? Who are my contractors? Like I got them out here. They walked it. They said it's going to take X to cut down trees. If you are buying a piece of land that's got a bunch of trees on it, that land is really not that cheap because the cost of removing trees can get crazy. So that's why you see realtors marketing land as flats and clear, right? When they start saying it's full of trees, it run a lot of people off because you got to cut them down. You got to cut them down. So those are things that we'll have on that checklist. And then the last thing on this, we're finding the deals. It's an argument that I have, off market versus MLS. I don't care where the deal come from. If you make enough offers on MLS, you'll find a great deal. There's a lot of deals, especially land deals, that are sitting on MLS because people don't know what to do with them. They don't understand, do we need to change the zoning? They don't understand how to crunch these numbers. They don't have a team to put them in place, but there's a lot of stuff on MLS. I look at MLS every day. I'm sick of mail outs. I'm sick of cold calling. I just want to go on in because here's the thing I tell people about MLS. Every day somebody's dying, which means probates on MLS. Somebody's going to foreclosure. Somebody's going through a divorce. Somebody's stuff is set too long. Somebody's tired of tenants. That stuff is on MLS too. Mm-hmm. They don't tell you that they got them problems, but you can look at days on market. You can build relationships with real estate agents. I get a lot of deals from real estate agents because they understand we know how to solve problems. So don't run from the MLS. Get with the right agent so they can be making offers while you're asleep. It's just like cold calling. I look at it the same way. If you have an agent that's okay with making offers, just like you got somebody calling people, asking do they want to sell, you got an agent making offers based upon your criteria. But you got to know what your criteria is.
Big facts.
That was a nugget there.
Big facts.
All right. Any questions? They got any questions yet?
No, they just taking it in.
Did May have a question? I was making
No, he's making a statement. Okay. Now, Jimmy did say happy belated birthday.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple things to be aware. Then I want to go over a quick case study, the house that Antonio and Ashley was talking about.
Okay.
But here's some things I want you to be aware of. Things that may or may not be in our control, and you need to be financially ready for it. So people jump in and say, well, I'm going to build this house and sell it in 6 months. Things that you can't control, if you haven't got it approved already, right? Permitting delays, budget overruns. Things we cannot control is if there's some tariffs and the price of wood go up, if there's a pandemic and the price of wood go up, we can't control it. So don't stress yourself out. That timeline, y'all, if you are building new and you order something and it gets delayed, and let's say your sheetrock doesn't get delivered on Friday, but your sheetrock guys were ready on Friday, those guys were going to be ready to finish their house by Monday. If your sheetrock don't come, they go into another job. So your timeline moves. Some people get so crazy about, oh my God, like you got to have that in your mind, a couple of weeks extra in there. Don't be so tight with your budget where you got to build it, sell it in 3 months or whatever that number is, right? Just know that, don't tell your contractors, but just know that this is the real world. If you're framing and it rains for a week, what can anybody do?
Nothing.
There's nothing you can do. In the Midwestern states, we understand there will be no painting after late September, October. You better paint all you can paint. If not, you're not getting paint in October, November, December, January, February, March. It's too cold.
Mm-hmm.
Paint only if it's, what is it, 50 degrees? I think it's got to be 50 degrees and above, somewhere in there. Them places be under 50 degrees we so spoiled around here. By October, it definitely under 50 degrees. Y'all, those are delays or timeline changes that you just got to know. This is the real world. Okay. The house that we're going to talk about shortly, we had a front door that took, I don't know, 4 to 5 months to come. What can we do about it? That's what front door we wanted. So that was a delay. All right.
4 months.
4 months for the front door?
It took a minute.
Woo.
It's a heck of a front door, though.
Oh, it's nice front door now.
It's a heck of a front door. And then market shifts. So, like right now, I don't believe we're going to have a crash, but we do have a market shift, and the market shift houses sitting out there a little bit longer. Are depending on your neighborhood. Some neighborhoods here are still like going crazy, but you can't find stuff over there. So then you got to really understand that's what, like your market. You got to really understand your agent and your lender and your partners got to talk. Your lender understands when there's a market shift. They know what's going on. And if you have a good relationship with them, they're going to start telling you, hey, because they want their money back. Because if they crash, they ain't get nothing back.
Right.
So they will talk to you and tell you about market changes. Your real estate agent should keep you abreast of what's happening. I'm not saying watch the news and social media because it's like, something's gonna be happening if you sit there and watch it, right? We've been about to have a market crash for the past 6 years. Y'all been hearing it. It's gotta crash. It's too great. 2022 was true. We've never seen this before. Low interest rate, no inventory. It's finna crash. It's 2025. Now they're saying, we don't like our president, and now we got tariffs. It's finna crash. But then on the flip side, you hear a lot of people saying, I can't find a home. Mm-hmm. Somebody somewhere lying. but we can get to that later. All right, y'all. So look, questions, and if not, I want to jump into the case study. Anybody have any questions?
No questions so far. Drop your questions in the chat.
Okay, good deal. So if everybody could Google 718 Cascade Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia. Y'all Google it, and y'all can see pictures. Y'all can see like one of the greatest real estate agents in the world has it listed.
Well, come on now.
And it's not Yaz, because I'm the second. Yaz is first. I'm second. So I want to tell y'all about this. And I'm gonna throw some numbers out there. This house is listed at $1,049,000. It was my client's first house she's built. Now, we were partners, we were project managers, we the realtors. Actually, I owned a lot before, and she wanted to build. And she is somebody that goes big or go home. That's just who she is. And so first house, we built this in the city of Atlanta. And I know she had bubbles in her stomach. I know it's like, it hasn't sold yet. I know now she relies on us as her team. She had the confidence in, I'm gonna tell y'all about how she funded it in a second, but she had confidence in us enough to know that we're gonna build the best product, we're gonna market it right, and she's patient. Her mindset from the start was to be patient. She knew she was building one of the best houses in the community. She understood it was one of the bigger houses, but it also is in a community that is transitioning, it's been transitioning for a while. It's got some great things around it, from new commercial developments to Beltline developments. And then the house itself speaks for itself. So in her mind, she was saying, if it doesn't sell and me and her husband attempt not for her to think this way, she'll just keep it, refinance it, keep it, right? So she knew going into it that she had multiple exit strategies. Could you Airbnb it? Next year, one of the biggest soccer tournaments in the world will be in Atlanta. So it's not enough hotels, not enough Airbnb. Could you rent this thing out, probably $2-3 grand a night or more? Yes. So again, her mindset going into it was just like amazing. Exit strategy is to sell it, but she will keep it and rent it. And when you're starting to do this, she has less pressure than most people because, and I'm going to say this to you when we go over the numbers, because when she decided to do it, she made up her mind that she had multiple ways to keep the property, sell the property, Airbnb the property. We can do content creation at the property. She just knew she was going to make money with the property.
Ramon, can I go through it real quick?
Yeah.
When I be asking you to do this type of stuff, you be acting like you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But you want to do it.
I love Ramon.
But you want to do
work
it.
with my nerve.
But now you want to do it. Boy, look at him, boy.
I can talk about the numbers while we're looking at it.
Do that, Ramon.
So initially, I bought the lot for $115. You probably won't find another lot over there at $115. I was going to sell it to my partner at $150. We made the deal work, right? She is all in, and I'll tell y'all, she don't mind, at about $750, $770 something. And we got it out there at $1.149. Now, her numbers.
Hold up, I'm sorry. But this front door here.
The front door nice now. It's nice. And you gotta open it though. It weighs, I think they said it was like 1,100 pounds. Oh, it's a heck of a front door. It is.
It's beautiful.
It is. She her goal was to make about $200K, right? Okay. Off her first one. Now, here's what's, I don't want to say different about her than a lot of people. She knew she could fund it no matter what. She actually put this house on a credit card, like all her construction, the whole nine. She just built it out of pocket. So it may have taken us a little bit longer because sometimes she would say, well, you know what? I'm going to make X amount of dollars this week. We can put it over there. She also understood that she could refinance it when she needed to. So she put herself in a position to win in several different ways. And it's been an amazing journey. We're doing a open house Friday, a happy hour open house. We've had some interest. I may do a pop-up, investor pop-up Saturday. So the more I show it, the more interest you get, it's going to sell. If it doesn't sell when she wants it to sell, it will be content creation. It will be Airbnb. It will be something, but she's going to make money with it. But again, she went into this understanding all of her different exit strategies.
Mm-hmm. That's key.
It's key. That's key. And I know some people are like, well, my credit card don't fit that way. Well, or we don't have a credit card that you can put X on it. Well, here's the other side of it. Even without the credit cards, we would have done the deal because one, it was a lot that I had. She was able to, could go to hard money lenders, and somebody else would have put the down payment down if we needed it, and the carrying cost, just because the spread was so nice. But you got to think, and I'm going to tell y'all about the return on her money. Remember, she put it on a credit card. So when she make money, yeah, she's had to pay some credit card payments. But when she makes money, if she makes $100,000, I don't even know how you calculate her return because it's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. but she was creative enough to learn how to do that. She's listened to Ashley and Antonio. She understands how to build credit cards. She's taken years, y'all, not overnight. See, some people want to start exactly where she started,
Right.
but you haven't built your credit. You haven't taken the risk of building your credit. And to get to where, and I'm talking about, I've learned so much from her. I've watched her, y'all, build millions of points on credit cards and use it for everything. And then she focused on the credit card when she flipped. Hey, I'm gonna flip one, I'm gonna pay the credit card off. But now I own a rental free and clear because I put a rental on a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so many things that you can be doing while you're waiting to find that great project, while you're waiting to learn this business a little bit more. Build your credit up, build those credit cards up, get on somebody else, pay somebody to get on their credit card so you can build yours up. But a lot of us want to skip those steps. We don't want the hard work. We don't want to struggle. And sometimes, y'all, that struggle on the journeys are gonna make us like be great. That struggle.
Absolutely.
I read a book called Billionaires Row. What I'm gonna tell y'all this: these people are playing with money like our kids play with toys. When you read the book, you're gonna understand exactly what I'm talking about. You had the builders, you had the developers. They were building condo buildings in New York, and they had units that were selling for 60, 70 million dollars, $100 million with pools in them. Somebody had a vision. They didn't have the money, y'all. Listen, a lot when you read it, you can be like, but it just went and got the money from somebody else. It's the same concept. You come up with something great, somebody gonna believe in you enough. If you've worked hard, if you went through, hey man, I built one, I didn't make no money. Y'all, have I had deals where we didn't make money? Yes. Have I had deals where we lost money? Yes. So I don't want you to get into this and then be like, oh man, somebody lied to me. Somebody cheated me. No, sometimes deals just don't work out in the end. Sometimes we've held them too long. Sometimes the market changed. Sometimes somebody come beside you and build something cheaper or build something and sell it for less and mess up your comps.
Mm-hmm.
We got a neighborhood. One of my partners just straight messed up. He's selling affordable housing, but he can't sell them for more than $375 or $350 because the down payment assistance programs won't fund the buyers over that. So he just dropped his price to $350, right? But his buyers are getting $60,000 and $70,000 in down payment assistance. So he's still doing very well. Well, prior to him in that neighborhood, the houses were selling for $425. He just messed everybody up.
He did.
He don't care because he's still making his money and he's selling them faster. He's selling them so fast because everybody wants one because it's $350, $360, and I can get $50,000 down. You can't control that. Either you're going to have to join Buddy and cut your losses. Instead of making 50, you make you 20 and keep going, or you're going to sit on the market and not sell.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna piggyback a little bit on that credit card situation. We was helping some newer investors get business funding.
Okay.
And they got like a $2,000 card, like a $3,000 card. They had got some other good ones, but they had got some smaller ones towards the end. And they was like, man, we don't even want them cards. And we tried to tell them, like, you got to start.
You got to take these cards.
Like, this is the beginning. Like, it's not about right now. It's about building these things up. 4-5 years down the line, these $2,000-$3,000 limit can turn into $50,000 limit. So, man, it's so glad. I'm glad you said that because it took time to build your credit profile and your stuff to where you can get these type of cards, and it's all a part of the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even with your business stuff, even like your business accounts. I know we can get stuff based on our credit, but when you start using your business account properly, you flipping it, you putting it, you paying the right taxes, it's easier to go in the bank and ask for something. See, even right now, it's getting tougher. But when you are lined up right, and like you said, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5, y'all, the time gonna move on anyway. The time's not gonna stop. When the time stop, I don't want to say you're in trouble, but you ain't got no problem anyway after that. If the time stop, because that means you're gone. But time going to keep moving. And so why not build? And let's go through, and I'm going to call it the struggle. I'm okay with going through the struggle because I'm going through it. And I know where we're going to end up one day. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I got one question. I got Frank said, hold on, I got
What's up,
this
Frank?
that came through. He said, why do you feel like it's taking so long to sell? Well, he's like taking long to sell, sorry. And then his second, I'll do his second comment after that question.
One, it's not a lot of. So we priced it based on price per square foot, but it's still in a transitioning neighborhood. So we are one or two in the highest price in the neighborhood. It's on a main street. So some of the things that we knew anyway. So that's why like she's not frustrated about it because we knew that one, we are testing the market. We knew that I think it's two more, maybe one more that's over $1 million. So you had people talking about we're gentrifying. We had gentrifiers telling us we're gentrifying. So you got a little pushback from that, but it's about waiting on the right buyer, and we're patient enough to wait on that person because the people that look at it, like we don't show it. Everybody can't show it. You can't just because you're a real estate agent. No, so there's the gate locked. So you have to show us that you're qualified. I need to see your buyer's information. I want to talk to your buyer. You're not just going to walk through and be in there taking pictures. That's not that kind of house. You can come to the open house. We have open houses, so they can come to the open house. But there's agents that call all the time during the week. Oh, yeah, we wanted to see it, but it's not on. No, it's not on Supra. We're looking for that buyer that's qualified.
Mm-hmm. And just to piggyback right there, Ramon. Not everybody is going to be qualified to see this. So, like your criteria is a lot smaller when it comes to your buying pool because everybody can't afford $1 million home.
Correct. But here's the flip side. This is on the west side of town. This is in the West End. On the east side, to get this square footage, you're going to pay a lot more. So you got a lot of people that have looked at it that can't afford. They can afford $1 million, but they can't afford 1.4. And people with larger families that want to be in town don't have nowhere to go. See, they don't have, this is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath, 2-car garage. So all the stuff that you can think about that would be in a suburban home is in this home. 10-foot ceilings on the main floor. So we know that person's coming. They're coming.
That's nice. Besides using it on credit cards, besides the front door, which I think it was worth it in the end.
Oh yeah, that front door was
what's something else that we've seen from these pictures that was a challenge on this property in particular?
Oh, I can think of one.
How you gonna think of one?
Because they went live on it and it was funny.
We argued about the front door. Bad. I wanted the front door. She didn't see the front door was $20,000 or so. She didn't see the value in the front door, but I won that battle.
What did y'all do? Did y'all have a poll or something like?
Nah, she just trusts me. She believed in me.
She wanted right. You just said 20,000 on the door. I can't even count that far.
Yeah, but she wanted copper gutters. It's got real copper gutters on it. I didn't argue with her about it. I just knew, and the good thing about it is we have our gutters built on. Our guy builds the gutters. So where somebody would have paid $9,000 for it, he did it for us for like $4,500. Right. We argued about the garage door. The garage door is nice, but we saved some money on that. One of our challenges was in the middle of building framing. It was like somebody opened a box and a piece of the puzzle was missing. What happened when the framing package came, they forgot to tell us that we're supposed to have a steel beam in the house. Because the opening on the 10-foot ceilings is, I think it's a 20-foot, 25-foot span. So there wasn't no LVLs up there. So in the middle, they were on the second floor and they said, "Hey, boss, something missing." So when we got there, we was like, God. So it took us 3 weeks. We were on break, but we finally found an engineering firm here locally that designed the metal, because the metal had to go across from over the door to over where the stairs go down to the basement. And then there's a pole that goes to the basement floor, right? So it had to be designed. Everybody was saying 3 months, 4 months. So the engineering company said, y'all in luck. We have our own steel company. They came out, designed it, built it, installed it in 3 weeks.
Oh, that was a blessing.
It was a blessing. So that was probably our biggest challenge. Everything else has been, more design stuff. She brought in our Ashley LaBouffe, who does interior designing. She comes from Flipology. She's great, but me and her bumped heads so much. She was like, and at the end, she would say, "No, you're right, right?" Because even when they go select tile, I didn't go with them. And then Dana would call me and say, "Well, what you think about this?" And then one time I met him, I was like, "That's not $1 million tile. Y'all got to look at it." And so everybody came to the right agreement. I was like, hardwood floors throughout, horizontal. We got herringbone floors on the main floor, but the owner suite, the main owner suite, I smile because it's real marble. But Diana she wanted that. Her faucets are gold Kohler faucets. We had fun, but she spent money.
What? Gold Kohler. What is that?
So the brand Kohler.
AOHLER, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that shower bathroom faucet kit, y'all, it's very expensive. But the shower makes you never want to get out the shower. It's got a rain head, it's got the regular shower, it's got the handheld shower, it's got body massagers, it's got foot massagers, it do everything. And it's digital. You get in there, you can set the heat, you can set the temperature. But when you start thinking about my exit is to sell this home as a luxury home, you can't skimp on the products that you put in there. Everybody that sees that bathroom is like, hey, man, this is it. The kitchen is my favorite room. And I'll tell y'all what happened with the kitchen. Dana and I, we hang. So we go into this store called Pogo Pow in Buckhead. Some cabinets, y'all. Cabinets. We go in there and they charge $1,000 to design your cabinet. So we go ahead and get them designed. You do this session, you come back, you darn near drinking tea in there with your finger up in the air. And the dude tells us, without the countertop, the cabinet's $120,000. Dana looked at me like, we cool? Ain't that cool? So it took us a month to find something similar to what we wanted. Now, those cabinets, y'all, and I'm telling y'all this, the nicest cabinet I've ever seen in my life. Like, you can be like, and they open. It's open. It's beautiful, y'all. Wow. But it took us a minute to find that. So some of the delays was us. What I would tell people is make sure you design before you start. Even though if you're building like rental properties, you're building this was high end. So it was things that we had to do. And then the countertop, it's called Decton. So we fell in love with it somewhere. We saw it and was like, we got to have it. She wanted it bad. It's hard to find. Most people don't buy it, don't use it. It became beautiful. So other than that, it was just us, delays with us designing. And then one bad thing is the cabinets were installed upside down at first.
Yeah.
Look, out of all that, now you still ain't said the part Ashley was looking for.
What we do?
That tile.
Oh, when they broke the tile. So, yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you the cabinets first, though, because it's worse than breaking the tile. The cabinets, the electrician kept telling us something wrong, y'all. We need some transformers. We can't get the lights on in the cabinets. So the cabinet company came back out, took the lights down. The guys that installed the cabinets had cut all the wires to the cabinet and lied about it. No, they wasn't there, boss. Boy, if y'all don't stop, we took it out their money. I mean, I was cool with it. That's why we don't pay them till we pay in draws. And I ain't paying you till we like what we see. So that was one. But you're right. Now, the tile broke my heart. The plumber I still don't know why. The digital bar that turns the shower on says Kohler. Kohler. The house sign on the digital thing, like home, the little house, it's like a house with a door. But he turned it this way. So he drilled 2 tiles, 1, 2, to put it up there. When I walked in, I'm like, bro, why would you do that? Why would it not be even with the line? So him taking that out, he has to, then he said, well, I'll put it right here, but you got a hole right here. We just fill it in. No, you can't fill it in. So he started to take one tile off, another one break, then another one break. When we call about the tiles, they discontinue. They don't have any more. We finally got it right, though. We found a couple here and there. We found one. And then the day that the shower glass, people had to come and take the shower glass down. Remember, those are 10-foot ceilings, so the shower glass are 8 feet. In order to put the tile back up, probably, because when he started breaking them, he was breaking the ones on the edge. So it was I told Diana, I said, Diana, don't come over here. The day that we needed them, we were going to have to go to Chattanooga or Memphis. They had 5 pieces in stock. Nobody in Atlanta had them. Nowhere. It was because they discontinued. And just so happened, the plumber who messed them up had one extra in his, and it was a little bit darker because with that marble, some of them darker than the other ones. They just came in the same box. It was a little bit darker, so we had to shift some around so that the white ones was in a better place, but we got it done.
I think that's the key. You got it done.
Yeah, got it done.
Normally, you have all of those come apart in between your project. And it feels like it's the worst thing in the world. Oh, everything is going bad. How am I going to get through this? But you get through it. You live. You move on. You make some money, and you do it again.
You keep going. A couple things I would say though. I know we need to start like right now, y'all. If you got the money, it's cool. You still need to talk to what I'm gonna call your money team because you need more money. You need to start vetting your real estate agent. Y'all I don't get offended when my friends use somebody else as their real estate agent. If somebody looking for a house to live in, I'm going to refer you to somebody anyway. I'm not showing 20 houses. If somebody's in a different part of Georgia, I'm not offended. If somebody does something better, my child's mother is better at retail and commercial by leap years over me. I mean, leap years. We ain't even close, y'all. She can read leases and contracts that are this thick. It's almost like the rain. I'd be like, you like the Rain Man. If somebody called me and asked me about commercial retail, I'm sending them to her. So if you got a real estate agent that specializes in something or they better with homeowners, that's the one that you use to buy your home, your mom's friend. I don't care if they get offended if they don't understand how to build new construction because they're going to lead you down a path that you don't want to go down. So don't be offended and tell them, hey, listen, you got a referral for me? This ain't what you do. If they offended, that's their loss. So start talking to the real estate agents. Y'all start looking and talking to contractors that build what you want to be built. Start making offers. Like, don't go all the rest of June and don't make some offers on some lots. Lowball them, learn it, play around, play the game. Right. You never know what's going to get accepted. And then one of the biggest things is you need to really learn what the price per square foot properties are selling for in the areas that you want to be in, and what's the price per square foot that is costing to build. A lot of times I see people say, man, I can get a lot for $1,000. Well, the house in the neighborhood selling for $20. What you gonna do with the lot? You gonna farm on it? It's the truth. Listen, I see people all the time on social media saying you should buy this lot for $1,000. It's like stuff in Detroit that we were buying lots for $100. I can't do nothing with the lots. We so crazy. We just buying them because it sounds good to buy a lot for. It sounds good on social media. Right? I'm not doing it because you got to pay taxes and cut grass. It take me 2 times to cut grass. I don't spend more cutting grass than I paid for the lot. So y'all got to learn the cost that it's going to take to build and what you can sell it for. Just because a lot is cheap doesn't mean it's good. If you can't sell something for what it costs for more than it costs you to build it. And different places in the different parts of the country, the cost to build is different. It costs something different in California than it does in New York, than it does in Atlanta, than it does in Birmingham. The material is about the same everywhere. It's the labor. Material is Home Depot everywhere. If I don't like the price of this Home Depot, I'm gonna make them send me something from another store. So it's always the labor, but y'all got to understand what is that price? What does it cost? And you can easily, I'm talking about 5 minutes, you can say if this is a good deal or not. If it costs you $100 a square foot to build and stuff is selling for $120 a square foot, you probably better run. You don't have no room. You have no room. But you can do that so quickly without calling Ashland Antonio, without, like, you got to make the numbers make sense.
Sweet. For my people who have stayed, thank you very much. I am going to give away something special. So if you are still here, Ramon is having a Flipology. He mentioned it lightly, but I want him to tell us all about it. But if you're still here and you want to be entered for a chance to win free tickets, put tickets in the chat so that you can get entered into winning a chance to Flipology. Ramon, tell us about Flipology.
Flipology is my baby. We're celebrating 10 years this year, and Flipology is just what it sounds like. It's the science of flipping. And when I say flipping, it's your exit strategy. I don't mean flipping like fixing flipping. I mean flipping like we're getting out of something, right? One way or another. And with Flipology, as we celebrate 10 years, we normally take a weekend and focus on multifamily, or a weekend and focus on fix and flipping, or a weekend and focus on commercial, with our boot camps. This time, as we celebrate 10 years, I wanted to bring everybody together. Like, I think everybody afraid to be in the same room because they competing on whose strategy is the best. So I said, let's just come together. So I called all of my friends. I'm still calling a couple of them. And we have over 30 speakers over 2 days. We had 16 sessions. And we're going to do a deal makers at the end with a real live deal that you can buy. But every topic that I could think of, micro homes, container homes, new construction, fix and flip, buy and hold, investing out of town, farming. One day is all residential. Group homes. We got young lady Myri Hayes coming from Phoenix to teach on group homes, rooming homes. So my goal is when you come in there, you do not leave Atlanta, Georgia, without knowing everything you need to know about what you're going to do. It's no excuse. And I don't mean you got to come to me for it. My job at this point is I retired from coaching. I am not coaching. We ain't starting coaching. Just so y'all know, it ain't starting. I want you to be able to connect with the right folks. It's going to be money galore. I'm talking about not just debt money. You got people. I got a friend that's coming. He got $5 million cash that he want to partner with some people. And he wants good deals. He's coming. He was like, I ain't coming to support you like that, bro. I'm coming to find me some deals. He told me, right? So day one is all residential, and we end with farming. And we have an urban and a rural farmer that are going to tell us about, one, surviving. Like, y'all start talking about buying land, but most of us can't survive 7 days if something happened. Like, how do we grow this food? So I want us to be buying land with a purpose in, let's grow us some potatoes and some carrots and some tomatoes, something that if, God forbid, something happened, we can feed our families for 30, 40, 50, 60 days. They're going to come and tell us how they're getting $50,000, $60,000 in grant money to put up trees. How she just got, one of the partners just got $100,000 to do the infrastructure for a 4 or 5 house subdivision, but it's going to have a growing component with it, right? So they gave them the money. They gave them all the money to do what they need to do basically for the infrastructure because they're going to be growing something. So that's day one. Day two is all commercial, multifamily, hotels, self-storage, warehouse. And then we have a panel on women that develop. And it's a really, 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 really powerful panel. So, I mean, it's just going to be 2 great days. Of course, we got the VIP days where we're going to take the bus out, but I don't want nobody to miss the 11th and 12th because it's the real deal. It's the real deal.
What the days is again?
It's really the 10th through the 13th,
Okay.
but I say 10th through the 12th because the 10th is the VIP mixer that night,
Okay.
Thursday night. The 11th and 12th is meat and potatoes. 11th is all day residential. 12th is all day commercial, and then 13th is half a day bus tour. Again, those are the VIP tickets where we're gonna be on the bus. We're gonna look at projects. We're gonna have brunch. Laugh and be half a day. But the 10th, the 11th and 12th, I don't want anybody to miss it, which is why we priced it the way we priced it.
Sweet, sweet. So if you are interested in going to Flipology, man, drop tickets in there, and we are going to, me and Ashley going to at least do 2 tickets to somebody from our community that want to go down to Atlanta and get this information.
Ooh, I see y'all dropping it in the chat. Come on.
Let's go.
Come on.
Now, one thing is, we ain't just doing it to do this. You got to go and get in the room.
Listen, because we're gonna be there, so we're gonna be expecting to see.
We there now.
Yeah.
So you can't tell us you there. We gonna be there.
Yeah. There's gonna be a homework assignment with it, because honestly, we want to make sure you pay attention. We want to make sure you get something out of it. There's no need to go there just to go. This needs to be something that you are committed to. You are committed to changing your life. You are open-minded to growing and learning, because it's going to be a lot of information, and there is no reason after you leave Flipology, the conference, that you don't leave empowered and ready to get off the sideline and get into the game. All right. And if you already in the game, there's no reason that you don't leave there taking it to the next level.
That's real.
Because it is going to be so much information in the building. There's going to be so many connections that are going to be made. When I tell you this is going to be the biggest event of the summer, I'm not playing, y'all. It's going to be the biggest event of the summer. The hotel itself is going to bring the people. So you need to make sure that your face is in the place.
Yes. Whatever you got to do to sacrifice, get in the room, man, make a sacrifice. I promise you it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, because you go to Cancun during the summer, you go to Belize during the summer. Let's do something where we're going to grow our mind, all right? Let's grow our finances and not just spend it. So we put our trips on our credit cards. We're gonna make sure we put this hotel stay on our credit card and we get there.
And we're gonna get them points too.
And we're gonna get them points and we're gonna write it off for education and we're gonna make it work.
That's right.
But you say, oh, I don't have the money, because the money's not an excuse. All right. The money's not an excuse. I see y'all are lighting it up.
Birmingham gonna be thick down there, Ramon. Well, hey, Birmingham gonna represent down there now.
I love it. I love Birmingham. So come on, we all family.
All right,
that's right. You gonna close this out?
What you mean? I've been handling everything since we started. You gotta do something. When he said, they're gonna teach us how to form, I looked at you and like, shit, you too like to go on the field. You're gonna have to go in the house somewhere.
First of all, I would enjoy that. The only problem is somebody gonna have to juice it, because that's how it works. Somebody gotta juice it. So real short, Antonio Aunt has a friend and he has a farm and he grows pretty much everything. So whenever I go to Sanford, I like to talk to him, because he talks about, okay, these are the type of teas that I drink. These are how I hold and store food. So like he dry freezes a lot of things so that if something happens, then he can go back. And I'm like, well, when the end of the world come, I need to be close to Sanford. I need to come stay with you. Because
but y'all know that's why the older people had deep freezer and storage, because they had, the grains and stuff, because you can live off grits and grain for a while, oatmeal for a while. But we just got to a point where it's so fast, and I know it's tough. But we've been learning more about farming, it's like, man, like it's the simple thing. Like they showed me a plot that could feed, and it wasn't even like the backyard, but it could feed 50 people all year it was kale, collard greens, and it was something else, but it was something so simple. It was like, we can feed 50 people for a whole year right there.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And it's healthy, and it ain't the meat. It ain't the, you know what I mean? There's so much stuff that wasn't included. And when you hear Queen Yin speak, it's bigger than just, hey man, we farming, because you think about the things that make us healthy, the things that, make our blood flow right. The things that she get out there and walk every day. They get out and walk the land every day, and just it's so many things that go into it. I mean, I always say I don't have time, but we're gonna have to make the time for it.
I'm with you. We just revamped our schedule this morning to make time for it.
That's sweet. We really did. All right, I got a question. Can you find hard money for land?
Yes,
Yes.
for sure. And I know the hard money lenders that are the national hard money lenders, if you're just buying land, they're going to say no. If you're doing new construction, of course, you guys have programs for it. But if it's just land, most people say no. But even if somebody say no, let me say this. What about that credit card? What about owner financing? What about raising the money? So a lot of times when you can't find something, somebody is doing it. And I always say, why not me? So I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to ask that owner, what if I gave you $1,000 down and then 24 months, I pay you off and I pay you every month, right? A lot of us are so afraid to ask that question. A lot of real estate agents act like they won't even write your offer. Sometimes I send offers in, they be like, they ain't gonna take that. And I'm like, you got to present it or I'm gonna go to their seller myself. If I feel like you didn't present it, I'm gonna look their name and number up and I'm gonna call them myself. So you want to present it and send me an email where they said no. Like I don't want to see, oh man, they said no. I want it in email form or I'm calling them myself. And there's been times where we've made deals happen because we asked the right questions. Hey, can you hold a second mortgage? Hey, can you owner finance it for 6 months, 3 months, 90 days? So when you not able to find a lender, you become the lender. You create it. You talk to people with money. You talk to 10 of your friends that's got $2,000 on their credit card, and all y'all take $1,000 off your credit card. Like I'm not saying we're supposed to get rich overnight, but if we want it, we want it. So I know the answer is yes on the hard money lenders for land, but the answer is also I know that that's one of the challenging pieces of getting lenders just to lend on land. It's tough because it don't have any value. I mean, not really. Here's what it is. If I got to foreclose on some dirt, what do I do next?
What do I lose?
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
All right, somebody said, yes, we must get back to growing our food. And someone else said, I want to start a garden. This would be perfect for me. Yeah, it would be, Nakia.
Real estate and gardening together, man. I ain't never think that in my life.
How do you put together your 20-year plan?
You just gotta write it out. What do you see your life looking like in 20 years? What do you want? Like mine is different from Ashley's. Hers is different. Well, Ashley and Antonio got to have one. I don't have to have one. I'm sorry. But ours is different, right? Mine's is different. I just turned 50. And mine's in 20 years. I don't foresee myself doing anything but real estate. Now, I don't know what AI is going to be done. I don't know if we're going to be on Mars or Pluto, but I know what I love. And my end game is to be lending the money that my rental income brings in. That's it. I just want to keep lending. I want it to be compounding, no debt. My kids are already grown, so hopefully they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I want to be able to make sure I say, you know what, Antonio, Ashley, listen, tell Lil Antonio or Mill to come pick me up. We got to go look at a house. Somebody want to borrow $100,000, right? Or they go look at it and take the pictures. And we send the money out. And the money bring back, we send them, and they bring back some other people at 15% a year or whatever our number is. That's all I want to do. And we buy a few pieces and we ride off into the sunset. So I know in 20 years, that's all I want to be doing is just lending money, buying more rental properties, lending money, buying more rental properties, just creating massive cash flow. Everybody doesn't want that same thing because it's going to take some work to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, Stanley, I would say, what are the top 3 things you want to accomplish? And then who do I need to collaborate with to get there? I guarantee you, whatever your 20-year goal is, it's smaller than it should be. Because you're going to find out by the time you hit year 2 and hit year 3, I am 95% close to my 20-year goal if I hit the ground running.
I agree.
If I get connected to the right people, like you looking at 20 years from your journey, man. If you get connected to the right people, that 20 years turns into 5 years, like quickly.
quickly.
So it's so important to make sure that you got a vision, but you get connected to the right people to help execute that vision.
My bishop said this maybe about a month ago, and I came home and did it. Write down 125 things that you want or want to do. Write them down and check them off. And he said, by the time you get to the end of the list, it's going to be another 50 that you want to do. And he was like, you ain't living till you start checking off things. See, most of us get up, we go to work, and I'm guilty. We go to work, we eat, we stress, we go to sleep. Get up, go to work, sleep, eat. My grandma say sleep, eat. You know the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Go to sleep, get back up. We are not living out what we're supposed to live out. And so, like you said, let's set them goals, but I'll reach them goals fast because I'm connected with Ashley and Antonio. So I'm saying, yeah, I want to buy X, or when I tell people I want $1 million a month coming in passively, right? People look at you like you're crazy, but it's people that make $1 million a day like it ain't nothing.
Right. Why can't I make $1
$1
million
million a day. I look at your boy Elon and them. I mean, you know, them jokers be making $5 and $10 million a day or more. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Why not us? And if I shoot for the stars and I miss, at least I shot, y'all. Like I shot. So whatever your goals are, because that time is passing. And if some people don't have the goals that I have, I get it. I've been at this a long time. I knew at an early age that I wanted wealth. I saw wealth. I knew I wanted it. So some things, the risks I've taken and got hit in the head, right? But I'm okay with that struggle because I know what I want. So you have to look at, do you want, some people don't want to work like that. I love what I do. See, the difference between me and a lot of people, I really love what I do every day. Like, I don't know if anything, because I've tried all kind of stuff, but the real estate world is what I love. So, of course, I'm never going to retire. Not from buying, selling, renting, lending, leasing. Not from those. So,
Absolutely.
It was good here, man. I thank you for your time. I know you got to go, man. I'm sure this is gonna be one of the most watched replays in our group ever. If you got something from watching my big bro Ramon talk, let them know that you appreciate and showing some love.
Put some fires in the
Put
chat.
some fires in the chat. Man, I got me some notes. I got me a whole list of notes over here. Boy.
Listen, I'm like, with me and Tanya gonna do this homework assignment because that's exciting. Let's make our list, Tanya, and let's see let's collaborate on the list. Like after we do your goal, we do my goal. Your goal, my goal.
I ain't doing your list. all your list going to include like some African the safari and animals and stuff.
I want to go there, Antonio. I do want to go. I want to roll with y'all when y'all go.
We going.
I'm just saying.
We're going to Zanzibar.
We got to categorize the list.
We're going to Zanzibar for my 40th birthday. We're going to Zanzibar.
By the club?
No, that's close. That's close. Oh. Thank you, Ramon. I see the fire.
Yes, I see you, Tamika. I see you, Miss Edwards.
Miss Watts.
Miss Watts.
Absolutely. Listen, you guys make sure you throw in ticket in the chat if you want to be entered into the drawing to win tickets to Flipology the conference.
I want to do the drawing tomorrow night too. So
okay, July 10th through the 12th. It's the conference. Make sure you're there. Even if you don't win tickets, you need to hurry up and get in the room. All right, before the price go up, because the price is about to go up. Early bird special is about to be over with. So make sure.
I'm saying we tell you.
I'm telling you today that it might not be there by Friday. I'm just saying. I don't know, but I'm just saying don't wait for that Friday check if they want to message me.
I want to message me if I did. Hey, can I still get those tickets? No. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Today's prices.
Ramon, we absolutely love you. I cannot thank you enough. I can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Yes.
Let us know for real if you need anything so we can help you with it. Because we're excited.
Yes.
And I'm getting more excited every day. So I appreciate you guys for sure.
You're
No
welcome.
problem.
You're
No problem.
welcome.
Thank you very
Because you
much.
know we got hands. We got Yasmin too. So let us know what you need because we all hands on deck.
That's real.
Yasmin coming.
I don't know
Okay,
if she's
all right.
coming.
We ain't gonna mess with
And
her.
I'll tell you why later. But she got hands. We got hands on deck leading up to it for you.
I got you. I know my little sis love me. So
Love you too.
Yeah, have a good day, big bro.
Bye, you guys.
Have a
Love
good
y'all.
one.
Peace.
Peace.